Attorney General Carl Racine. General Racine, thank you very much. First of all, did you get warnings from the NYPD? Do you know if anyone in D.C. government, D.C. police, had warnings from the NYPD that were overlooked?
I can't really speak to that issue as to what warnings, if any, NYPD gave to D.C. officials. I can tell you that I was not privy to that. I can credit your reporter's other information, though, and that is that all throughout the internet, open source internet, as well as the dark web, there were all manner of discussions around threats and weapons coming to Washington, to include the Capitol.
And I want to ask you, going forward, about any plans to investigate and possibly prosecute President Trump for inciting the mob last week, or certainly Rudy Giuliani, Don Jr. Let me play some of what was said on the ellipse before the rally or at the rally.
Let's have trial by combat.
If you don't fight in the face of glaring irregularities,
fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
We're going to have to fight much harder. You'll never take back our country with weakness.
What about Don Jr.? What about Rudy Giuliani and others? Mo Brooks, the member of Congress. Can they be prosecuted for inciting a riot?
Well, let's just say first, those were outrageous comments that those individuals, including the President of the United States, made. Clearly, the crowd was hyped up, juiced up, focused on the Capitol. And rather than calm them down or at least emphasize the peaceful nature of what protests need to be, they really did encourage these folks and riled them up. Now, whether that comes to a legal complaint, I think we've got to really dig in and get all the facts. I know that I'm looking at a charge under the D.C. Code of inciting violence, and that would apply where there is a clear recognition that one's incitement could lead to foreseeable violence. We still have more investigation to do, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to work zealously and fully and let the facts lead to where they naturally go.
Are you looking at the president's role, or is he immune because of the Office of Legal Counsel guidance that has been followed that the president cannot be prosecuted? Sure,
Andre. As you know, the OLC opinion says that the president can't be prosecuted while the president is in office. As it turns out, the president has about 9 more days of office. And of course, the investigation is going to go on much beyond those 9 days. It'll be another legal question as to whether the president can be prosecuted after his term of office. I think the better weight of authority answers that question affirmatively. And I'm not targeting the president or anyone else. I'm just saying that the D.C. Office of Attorney General, and I'm heartened that the U.S. Attorney also said the same thing. We're going to follow the facts, and we're going to go exactly where the facts lead.
So you're certainly leaving that open for investigation. Let me ask you about the importance of the National Park Service not granting any more permits, which, as I understand it from the mayor, she didn't want all along because of COVID restrictions on gatherings, but had no authority over the ellipse, over the South Grounds for the RNC and other venues that are controlled by the Park Service.
Well, that's exactly right. Mayor Bowser rejected a permit request around the D.C. Governed areas, D.C. being our local government. But of course, we don't have the authority around federal grounds. And I think her call for no longer granting permits during this really intense period of time, where we've seen an unprecedented violent attack on the Capitol, is exactly right. Now's the time to ensure safety and to ensure the American tradition of a peaceful transition of power. That's what Americans rely on. That's true patriotism, and that's living up to our democratic ideals.
Attorney General Carl Racine from the District of Columbia, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrea.